Oh my god, what the? What are you doing? I'm in the car. Did you know? This is a car. She just wants me to play with her. Makes me so sad because literally tomorrow I'm leaving, okay? And a reason why that's irrelevant is because I have to give you some backstory. So if you've been watching my videos for a little while, I've been dating somebody. It's a little bit, what would you call it? Is the word unconventional? I don't know what that word necessarily means. I feel like that's the word, but I also feel like it's not a word because I'm not meaning it like, I don't know. Do you know? Yeah. Basically, okay, first of all, this video is just kind of me talking. And if you don't find that interesting, then I'm sorry, but you should still watch this video because I'm gonna be offended if you don't. Also, this is super interesting. Well, I think it's super interesting. Interesting. But maybe you guys don't think it's interesting, but it's like my life. My videos are about my life. This is a start of a new chapter of my life that's already been going on for a year. So as this video is titled, you may not know, but I have been in a long distance relationship for over a year now, 369 days, 69! So that's over a year, but also I think we started talking before that, but like, I don't know if like we didn't talk every day when we first started talking. I don't know, but I thought we did. So I'm kind of confused. Sorry, I'm
angry about this.
I'm not angry. I just wanted to give a little, not necessarily backstory because I'm not gonna be talking about personal stuff in this video because there's, you know, I don't fully have a public life, but like I do share stuff about myself. Like I'm very open about the fact that I have explosive poops every day. So I'm open about a lot of stuff, but also not open about other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like there's gotta be a balance, you know? So I've been in a relationship. Well, I guess like we weren't necessarily like dating right away. So I don't know when we necessarily started dating, but like kind of the whole time we were like, we knew that we were interested in each other. You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to meet like last year in like September, but for specific reasons that wasn't able to happen. And again, there are gonna be some things that I say and it's gonna be super vague, but that's just gonna be how it is. I'm not gonna, again, be explaining personal details about what we've been experiencing. But I also wanted to explain because I know the fact that we've been in a long distance relationship for a year is kind of interesting because I can technically work from anywhere and I definitely do have the means to travel. At the beginning, I wasn't able to. And then there's just been other reasons why we haven't been able to link up. You know what I'm saying? Link up? No, I'm kidding. No, we just haven't been able to. I'm not gonna lie, has been very difficult. I remember being so excited last year in September to meet. Like I was counting down the motherfucking days from 60 days to like 8. And then for a specific reason we had to cancel, which is all fine or whatever. And you know, I'm somebody who thinks that everything happens for a reason. And I think even though like what we've had to go through has been very difficult, but at the same time, like I've been happy because, well, there's been times where I've been happy and there's been times where I haven't been happy. However, that's with every relationship. I feel like the good thing about like being in a, say, serious relationship, because I mean, that's always what relationships are gonna be like to me, because I'm not somebody who does like casual, like the fuck. Bitch, if I'm giving you my attention, it ain't casual, okay? Let's start there. Before we met, I used to have like dating apps and all that shit, okay? I had it all. I was trying it all and it all was failing because, you know, I would go on dates with people and it would always be the same thing. Before I'll be talking to them, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm looking for a relationship, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll be like, okay, cool. Like, I'm totally good with that. And then like we meet and they're like,
what the fuck?
and I'm like, no. So that was always my experience and I finally gave up. Bitch, I gave up, okay? And then a few months later, I started talking to my boyfriend and at the beginning, we were both kind of like talking, but like we weren't taking it like super seriously. And then like a month in, we ended up having a conversation because like before we had like said we all like, we wanted the exact same things and everything. So that's why we kept talking, okay? I get to the motherfucking point, okay? Like I go down, oh, do you want to get married? Blah, 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 blah. And if somebody doesn't want that, bitch, no, bye. I'm not wasting my time. If you don't want the same things that I do, why waste my time? So basically we did that and we wanted the same things, but for the first month it was just kind of like blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Then we ended up having a conversation and we were both kind of like, I didn't think that you were super serious, because like we would talk to people and they would say that, but they actually wouldn't be serious. They would still just want to like do the dirty. So we had that conversation and it was so funny because we both like related to each other with that. And so then after that, it kind of got more and more and more and more and more and more and more serious. So then we were supposed to meet and then we couldn't. And then there's been so many things where it's been like, oh, we're about to, or we think we're going to be able to, and then we don't get to. And it has been very difficult. Again, I'm not going to lie and be like, this has been like amazing the whole time. I've been like living a honeymoon this whole time I've been with him. No, it's been difficult, okay? Like, I'm not gonna lie, but also I've loved every second of it. And I know that probably doesn't make sense, but I'm somebody who like, I want a relationship because every aspect of it. Like, I love the idea that like, say I'm like married and living with somebody and they do this certain thing and it really fucking annoys me, but like, it's okay because I love them and like nothing will ever change that. You know what I mean? That's how I look at things. And I also look at things that like, there are always going to be difficult times. Like, you know, like you'll be, as people say, have the honeymoon phase. And then there's like, maybe it gets a little bit more difficult and serious. And then you're like good. And then it gets more difficult. Or like, there are always going to be ups and downs with every relationship. It happens with like family. Like there will be a time where you're like super close with your sibling. And then other times where you're like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like have any issue with the fact that there have been difficult times, you know, and that's not a bad thing to me. I don't see that as like a red flag. Also, I'm sorry, people my age are super fucking annoying when it comes to relationship. Like a red flag, like just because somebody does something that you don't like or maybe like isn't ideal or something doesn't mean that's a reason to not like want to, I mean, maybe for you, but like say somebody's like a bad texter. Okay, that's not necessarily a red flag. Like people are way too like jumping to like these things. Like you gotta love somebody because of who they are. And like if somebody's bad at something, you're not gonna like not want to be with them just because they're bad at it. You help them be better at it. Or even if they don't get better at it, you should be the person who makes that easier for them. Like for example, if they're a bad texter, well, I will double text or I will text again. Or if I haven't heard from them in a while, I will be like, hope everything's good. Hope you're having a good day. Like you help them because that's what makes things so beautiful. That's why we're all different and we're all here to like help somebody else. Whether or not they get better at something, we help them with that aspect that they're not good at. Basically, we weren't able to meet for like a long time. Obviously, it's been a year. But like we've been trying, there's been, again, I'm not gonna say exactly what has been going on, but it's like valid reasons. I know like people are gonna give whatever opinions they wanna give or whatever. Like I've had people in my personal life do it as well. I truly don't think anybody else will understand it other than him and I wouldn't be going through these things if I didn't think it was worth it. If I had any doubts about him, like we've just been working through it. And I think there's a reason we've had to go through all of this at the beginning. I think it's only made what we have even stronger. Like, yeah, I would have loved to have met him back in September. But like, I love him even more now and I'm gonna be even more excited to see him. It's gonna be unreal to me. Like, I literally can't even explain to you how I feel even thinking about it. Like I cried the other night. I cry because I'm just so happy. And it's like, even though we've been apart, there have been times where I've been sad because it's like, you know, before I used to be sad because I felt like I would never have somebody. But then there's like this different sadness where it's like, you know that there's somebody like this exact person that like you just want to be laying there with and hug and like just all of that. And it's like, I would cry because I couldn't do that, especially when it's something that I've always dreamt of having. But I would rather miss somebody than not have anybody. Not that I'm saying like, that probably sounds wrong. Okay, do not take it as in like, I'm just doing it to be with somebody because that is absolutely not true. Again, I wouldn't waste my time if it wasn't actually truly perfect. And I don't mean perfect as in everything is perfect because nothing will ever be perfect, but I think it's perfect in the way that it isn't perfect. And that's what makes it perfect to me because again, I like every aspect of it. I like having the hard times. I like, you know, regardless of how like difficult things are or say frustrated you get with somebody or mad. I mean, I don't know if I'd ever be mad. Like, mad is maybe a wrong word, but like, regardless of everything, just knowing that like, at the end of the day, you'll still say I love you and go to sleep because you still do, regardless of everything else going on. So basically, all this video is me explaining that there's valid reasons why we haven't been able to see each other. And those reasons I won't explain. I finally get to see him after a year. I literally leave tomorrow and I'm going to be making a video about me going and seeing him for the first time. Yeah, I felt like that would be super random if I just made a video of being like, oh, going to see my boy. Like, I wanted to be like, oh, I've been with, like, give some depth to what that video is actually going to be meaning. Because, like, I know it's gonna sound dramatic, but, like, I'm just such a romantic person. Like, it is probably gonna be the biggest thing that has ever happened in my entire life. And it's probably gonna be the happiest day of my life. And so I just wanted to explain what all of this actually means to me because, like, I love him so much. Again, I want to be with somebody for a year. If I didn't have every idea that it was going to work out and that everything was going to come together and I would get to love him forever. And I know some people will think that with a long distance relationship, you can't have something real. Like I know that some people may think that, or like I've even had people be like, are you sure you're not being catfish? That's why you haven't met yet. Like, it's not that. Like promise, yes, obviously having a long distance relationship and not meeting somebody is going to be different than being in person. But I don't think, like, we've talked about so much stuff. We've talked about all these things that I don't know if like we would be that deep with each other. Maybe we would have been that deep with each other in person or whatever. But like, again, I think this happened for a reason, and we were able to have this connection with FaceTiming. We FaceTime, bitch. Okay, so he's not a fucking catfish. But we've been able to have this connection and relate on these things and be able to have this love for each other without being able to see each other. And I think meeting each other will just make it grow stronger, especially again with like, I think a lot of things are how you look at stuff. Like if I'm with him and there's something that he does in person that is annoying, I'm gonna just love it. Like I'm gonna love that. Like, cause I haven't been able to have that. Yes, it sucks to not be able to hug somebody. That's been one of the hardest things. It's like, I don't even know what it's like to hug the person that I love. Like I've never been able to kiss him. I've never been able to like I just want, like, I want to meet him and like hug him and not let go ever, because I don't want it to be like this again. I think that everything that we have now will just be even stronger and even better once we meet in person. Yes, it's going to be different. Obviously it's going to be different. I'm not saying it's not going to be different. I don't think that it's going to be different in the way that people have told me it's going to be different. They're going to be like, well, it's going to be different when you're in person, so don't have like, no, like I know that it's just going to be amazing, and I'm just going to be so happy. I will like fall in love with him even more all over again, and it's just going to be perfect. I've been waiting for this my entire life, honestly. Like I have always wanted to have it, and not in a desperate way. I know people always like try and like, people who want relationships, like people always be like, well, it's desperate. Like I gave up. This came at the most random time. People always say that, and well, apparently it's true. And it's been going ever since. It's been going ever since for a reason. And finally everything's come together and we get to meet each other. Yeah, it's a new part of my life and I'm so excited for it. I can't even explain. I want to cry because I could be so happy, and in less than 2 days, I finally get to be super, super happy again. I have been happy, but like, it's gonna be a different happy, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna know what it's like to be with somebody in person. I've never had that. I've always wondered what it would feel like to like not fall asleep all by myself and like wake up next to somebody that you love. And the fact that I get to do that tomorrow, I don't want to cry. I'm not trying to cry. I'm not crying in like I don't mean to do that. It's like a dream come true. You know, the like idea of like being with somebody, you know, that regardless of every other aspect of your life, like having that person, you don't worry about anything else. That's what I've experienced with this. Having him and like knowing that he is part of my future and everything has made everything else better. I just want everybody to know like what the situation actually is before they watch stuff about it. There's been stuff going on, we've gotten through it, and now the time is right, and that's all people need to know. And I also just want everybody to know like how much this actually means to me, and that it's like, oh, I'm not just meeting somebody that I've been chatting with online. Like, no, this is somebody that I'm meeting who I truly want to be with forever. I want people to know that, because I am going to be making the video about going there, and I'll probably be making other videos with or about him as well. And of course that's not why I'm going to be with him, but he's going to be part of my life. So it's like I make videos kind of about my life in a sense, not necessarily about my life, but like I show my life. So it's like, obviously he's a part of my life, so I'll show him as part of my life. What the fuck? What am I saying? I don't know. Anyways, that is the video. I love love. I love it. I love it. I love seeing other people have it. I love hearing other people's stories. I love how it works out for everybody. Like, it's such a special thing, and I don't know, I'm so passionate about it. I really am. I know that sounds so stupid, but it's like, to me, it's the most important thing in the world. And I know the most important thing in the world is different to everybody, but like, I truly think that's like something that like changes people's lives. It like makes people's lives. It's like to have somebody who you meet and like live your life with just because you love them. Like, that's crazy. Like, how does that even happen? And like the fact that like people connect at that level, it's so special. And so like, I want to share that aspect of my life to others, to show like, I don't know, I just feel like you don't see that really. I don't know. I just want to share like, I guess what it means to me. Like, I feel like you don't hear people talk about the whole like, oh, it's rough, but like you still just love the person so you get through it. Just everything about it. Like, that's this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about this story because it's what I've been experiencing for a year and I haven't talked a ton about it. I've shared that I've had a boyfriend, but like I haven't done like a ton of talking about it. So I just kind of wanted to explain it before the video of me going to meet him and then other videos start to come out. Yeah, so I'm really happy and love. I'm always rooting for love. So go out there. If that's something that you truly want, don't give up on it. Don't fall into how the crowd goes. And I'm not trying to be rude by that, but like hookup culture and meaningless sex is such a big thing right now, especially in certain communities or whatever. It's hard when you feel like that's the only thing that's out there for you, but trust me, it's not. And if you fall into it, you're gonna be surrounded by the people who are like that. So it's gonna become even more difficult. But if you don't fall into that and you stick with what you truly want and what is truly meaningful, believe me, it will happen. And it will be worth every second of waiting because it just makes it that much more special. And that's all I have to say.